Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into a powerful, two-part quote that offers a profound lesson on character and values. It goes like this: a person is worthless if he has an attitude of looking down on others. Conversely, a person is worthless if in his heart and in his character there is no contempt and condemnation of the evils in life. This isn't just a clever saying, it's a moral compass. Let's break it down, because understanding this balance is key to living a meaningful life. The first part is a direct challenge to our ego. A person is worthless if he has an attitude of looking down on others. Think about that. How often do we, maybe even subconsciously, judge someone based on their job, their clothes, their background, or their beliefs? This attitude of superiority, of arrogance, is a poison. It closes our hearts and minds. It builds walls where there should be bridges. When we look down on someone, we're not just diminishing them, we're diminishing ourselves. We're retelling the world that our own sense of self-worth is so fragile that it depends on feeling better than someone else. True strength, true value, comes from humility. It comes from recognizing the inherent worth in every single person, regardless of their circumstances. It's about seeing the shared humanity in the person serving you coffee, the CEO in the boardroom, and the stranger you pass on the street. Empathy is the antidote to arrogance. It's the ability to say, I see you, I respect you, and your journey has value. A person who can't do that, who constantly needs to elevate themselves by putting others down, is, as the quote suggests, building their house on a foundation of nothing. Now, let's look at the second half, which is equally crucial. Conversely, a person is worthless if in his heart and in his character there is no contempt and condemnation of the evils in life. This is the other side of the coin. While we are called to be humble and respectful towards people, we are also called to have a strong, unshakable stance against injustice, cruelty, and deceit. This isn't about being judgmental of people. It's about being discerning about principles. Being a good person doesn't mean being a passive bystander. It doesn't mean smiling and nodding at everything to avoid conflict. True character is shown when you're willing to stand up and say, this is wrong. Whether it's seeing someone being bullied, witnessing dishonesty, or learning about systemic injustice, a person of value feels a righteous anger, a contempt for the evil itself. This isn't hatred for a person, but a rejection of the harmful act. Apathy is the enemy of progress. When we lose our ability to be outraged by cruelty or corruption, we lose a piece of our own humanity. Our silence in the face of evil can become a form of consent. So, the quote is telling us that a strong moral backbone is not optional. It's essential. It's the engine that drives us to create a better, more just world. So, how do we reconcile these two seemingly contradictory ideas? How can we be humble towards people while being intolerant of evil? The secret lies in separating the person from the action. We can treat an individual with dignity and respect, even if we fundamentally disagree with their actions or beliefs. We can love the person, but condemn the behavior. It's a tightrope walk, for sure. It's much easier to just lump everything together to hate the person who does a hateful thing. But that's the easy way out, not the right way. The challenge is to maintain our compassion for humanity while sharpening our intolerance for inhumanity. For example, you can disagree firmly with someone's prejudiced views while still treating them with basic human courtesy. You can condemn the act of lying without writing off the liar as a worthless human being. People can learn, grow, and change, but principles of right and wrong are constant. Our humility allows space for others to grow, while our moral clarity ensures we are watering the right seeds. Let's think about some real-world examples. Imagine a workplace. The first part of the quote warns against the manager who looks down on their employees, who rules with an iron fist and sees people as mere cogs in a machine. That manager is creating a toxic environment and diminishing their own leadership. Now, imagine a coworker who sees someone else stealing credit for a project. The second part of the quote calls on that coworker not to just shrug and say, "It's not my problem." A person of character feels that what happened was wrong and, when appropriate, finds a way to speak up or take action. They have contempt for the dishonesty, not necessarily for the person who was dishonest, but for the act itself. This is integrity in action. It's about having a spine. It's about understanding that our values are only real if we're willing to defend them. This balance is also crucial for our personal growth. If we only focus on not judging others, we can become too permissive, to anything goes. We might fail to hold ourselves and those around us to a higher standard. But if we only focus on condemning evil, we can become self-righteous, rigid, and just as arrogant as the people the first part of the quote warns us about. We might start looking down on anyone who doesn't meet our perfect moral standard. The beauty of this quote is that it holds both truths in perfect tension. It calls for a character that is both soft-hearted and strong-spined. It's a call to be gracious with people, but firm on principles. It's about being a warrior for what's right, but a warrior with a compassionate heart. Ultimately, this is a guide to building a character of substance. Your worth isn't determined by your wealth, your status, or how many people admire you. Your worth is forged in the quiet moments of daily choice. Do you choose humility over arrogance? Do you choose empathy over judgment? And, just as importantly, do you choose courage over apathy? Do you stand against injustice, even when it's inconvenient? The person who can navigate this delicate balance, who can look every person in the eye as an equal, while simultaneously refusing to look away from the evils of the world, that is a person of true and lasting worth. What do you all think? It's a deep topic, and I'd love to hear your interpretations in the comments below. How do you practice this balance in your own life? It's a journey for all of us. Thank you so much for watching and for thinking through this with me today. If you found value in this conversation, please give this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more content like this. It really helps the channel grow. Until next time, be kind to people and be tough on problems. Take care.